ancient China, like 3,000 years ago. They believe the afterlife.
Some have been wondering if it might reveal the body of Alexander the Great or unleash a deadly curse.
Let me take you through this entrance into one of the newly excavated areas.
Beneath the sands, soils, and seas lie remnants of ancient civilizations and artifacts lost to time. With each new archaeological find, another piece of our human puzzle emerges. Through the excavation of tombs, temples, and tools, we glimpse into our collective past. Join us as we uncover the 15 recent archaeological finds that will amaze you. Number 15. Sutton Who. As kids, we all fantasized about discovering hidden treasures right in our own backyards. But for Mrs. Edith Pretty, that childhood dream turned into a reality back in 1939 at the Sutton Who estate in England. During a dig in her garden, something truly remarkable emerged. A prehistoric ship filled with dazzling riches. It was like stumbling upon the ultimate buried treasure. She ended up uncovering one of the most mind-blowing archaeological finds of all time. To put it simply, this was the resting place of a very important person from the early 7th century, a time before England was even a thing. Back then, it was a mishmash of feuding kingdoms that wouldn't become a unified realm for another 3 centuries. Mrs. Pretty's garden truly held the key to a historical treasure trove. Within the 24-meter-long ship, archaeologists found a veritable king's ransom of artifacts, befitting a royal burial. The Sutton Who treasure includes intricately worked gold and garnet decorations, silver bowls and dishes, ceremonial weapons, coins, and ornaments inlaid with precious stones. These magnificent grave goods point to the occupants' elite status as East Anglian royalty. One amazing find was an ornate helmet, decorated with 2 gilded boar's heads and a dragon's head on the crest. The iron helmet itself was clad in tinned copper alloy panels that gave it a bright silvery appearance. It had a face mask with ornate eyebrows, a nose piece, and a mustache that formed part of a visual puzzle. The mustache, along with the nose and eyebrows, could be seen as the tail, body, and wings of a flying dragon. This imposing 2.5-kilogram helmet visually transformed its wearer into a soaring dragon with a human face. Such ostentatious trappings marked the burial of a powerful 7th-century Anglo-Saxon king, Radwald of East Anglia. Sutton Who provides remarkable insights into the transition from pagan traditions to Christianity in early medieval England. The ship burial harkens back to pagan funeral rites of cremation or interment in boats. Yet the buried ruler was laid to rest in regal splendor, surrounded by symbols of spiritual power, perhaps reflecting the arrival of Christianity. For modern archaeologists, Sutton Who was a magical find, providing an extraordinary glimpse into Dark Age England on the cusp of religious change. Number 14. The Thebidos Brewery. In today's world, brewing is a massive global industry churning out endless varieties of beer. But the foundations of brewing trace back over 5,000 years to the very origins of civilization in ancient Egypt. Around 3100 BCE, Egyptians were producing beer on an epic scale, as shown by the discovery of a huge brewery complex in the city of Abydos. Excavated in 2021, this brewery from Egypt's early dynastic period reveals how fundamental beer was in ancient societies. The massive facility spans over 20,000 square meters and contains 8 sections each, with 40 clay vats in 2 rows. That's a staggering total of 320 vats for brewing beer. Each vat is over 2.5 meters wide and would have heated a mixture of grains and water to produce a porridge-like beer mash. With a capacity of 300 liters per vat, the brewery could produce an astonishing 9,600 liters of beer at a time. That's nearly enough to provide a 6-pack for each of the 15,000 people estimated to inhabit Abydos. For ancient Egyptians, beer was a dietary staple, daily refreshment, religious offering, medicine, and salary payment. Everyone from pharaohs to peasants drank beer as a safer alternative to drinking water. The Thebidos Brewery demonstrates the vast scale of production required to supply this fundamental commodity. Its size and layout with interconnected vats allowed Egyptian brewers to pioneer mass production techniques still used today. Hieroglyphs found on the site provided the earliest known written beer recipes, describing ingredients like barley, honey, dates, and spices. While the basics of brewing remain unchanged, today's beer industry has its roots in Egyptian breweries like the one in Abydos. Number 13. Mayan city of Agata, Phoenix. The recent discovery of the ancient Mayan city of Agata Phoenix in Guatemala sheds new light on the origins and development of this remarkable Mesoamerican civilization. Identified using LiDAR aerial mapping technology in 2019, Agata Phoenix dates back as far as 1800 BCE, making it one of the earliest and largest Mayan cities ever found. Spanning over 12 square kilometers, Agata Phoenix contains a wealth of Mayan structures including pyramids, plazas, and paved causeways. The most striking feature is a massive pyramid with an astounding length of 420 meters, a width of 150 meters, and a height of 15 meters. This enormous structure is the largest Mayan pyramid of its kind, dating from this early time period, demonstrating the impressive engineering capabilities of even the earliest Mayans. Another notable aspect of Agata Phoenix is its layout, which lacks evidence of hierarchies or centralized authority. The dwellings and public spaces indicate a more egalitarian society compared to later Mayan cities characterized by strict social classes and despotic rulers. This challenges previous assumptions that complex urban societies could not develop without strong centralized governance. The artifacts found at Agata Phoenix, including jade axes, obsidian blades, and painted ceramic pots, provide insights into Mayan daily life, craftsmanship, and artistic skills during the formative period. Agriculturally, the area's natural wetlands and sophisticated reservoir system reflect advanced techniques of wetland farming and water management that allowed the early Mayans to thrive in this tropical environment. As the largest and oldest Mayan settlement uncovered to date, Agata Phoenix opens an exciting new chapter in our understanding of this enigmatic culture. Further excavations will undoubtedly uncover more details about the people who inhabited this majestic city over 3,000 years ago in Mesoamerica's storied past. Number 12. Herculanum Papyrus. The charred papyrus scrolls found in the ruins of an ancient Roman villa in Herculanum offer a rare window into the literary treasures of the classical world. Buried and carbonized by the deadly eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, these fragile artifacts contain philosophical and intellectual writings from one of antiquity's most influential thinkers, Philodemus. This invaluable papyrus was discovered in 1752 within a lavish seaside villa believed to be owned by Julius Caesar's father-in-law. However, due to the extreme fragility of the scrolls, any attempt to physically unroll them would cause irreparable damage. For over 2 centuries, the secrets contained within these ancient rolls remained frustratingly elusive. In recent decades, new digital scanning technology has finally allowed researchers to virtually unwrap and read the Herculanum scrolls without ever touching them. One technique involves multispectral imaging, in which the scans are examined layer by layer using wavelengths beyond the visible spectrum. This distinguishes the ink from the scorched papyrus. Advanced 3D X-ray technology provides additional detailed maps of a scroll's internal structure. Thus far, these techniques have led to a revolution in our ability to read and decipher the Herculanum scrolls. Historians can now peer inside the carbonized logs, revealing passages of lost Greek and Latin text without physical unrolling. Already, the writings of Philodemus on topics ranging from ethics to rhetoric have been retrieved from 2 intact scrolls. There is also hope that the villa's library may contain lost works from other eminent Greco-Roman authors. Number 11. Pharaohs Medallion. Pharaoh Akhenaten, the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty of Egypt, is sometimes referred to as the Alien Pharaoh. This controversial nickname stems from an enigmatic artifact known as the Pharaohs Medallion, which some believe indicates Akhenaten had contact with extraterrestrial beings. The medallion was discovered in Amarna by archaeologist Sir William Flinders Petrie in the 1920s. It is described as a 5.5 centimeter wide gold disc depicting Akhenaten under the rays of the sun god Aten. However, above Akhenaten is an image of an unidentified flying object with a curved dome and colored discs. To ancient astronaut theorists, this mysterious airborne craft suggests advanced extraterrestrial visitation. Akhenaten is indeed an intriguing pharaoh, having abolished Egypt's pantheon of gods to establish an unconventional monotheistic religion worshipping the solar god Aten. Some wonder if extraterrestrials guided Akhenaten to institute this religious revolution that was a radical departure from Egyptian polytheism. The flying saucer depicted on the medallion may represent such alien influences. While the artifact's existence is disputed, stories persist of its theft from Cairo's Egyptian Museum during the 2011 revolutions. Those who accept the Pharaohs Medallion as authentic cite parallels to Old Testament accounts of prophets like Ezekiel witnessing divine chariots and celestial visitations interpreted as extraterrestrial in nature. Yet mainstream archaeologists remain skeptical, insisting more credible evidence is needed to substantiate fantastic theories about the alien pharaoh communing with ancient aliens. But for those who believe human civilizations evolved through alien contact, the tantalizing possibility remains. While unproven, the mystery surrounding this golden medallion continues to challenge views about our place in the universe and the reach of alien worlds across the cosmos. Number 10. Denisova Cave. Denisova Cave in Siberia has proven to be one of the most scientifically significant archaeological sites in the world. Research on the skeletal remains and artifacts from this cave has provided astounding insights into the interactions of archaic humans dating back over 125,000 years. Denisova Cave has revealed a complicated web of relationships between Neanderthals, Denisovans, and modern humans in Eurasia. In 2008, the finger bone of a juvenile female hominin was found, leading to the identification of the Denisovans, a sister species to Neanderthals. Further discoveries showed Neanderthals and Denisovans both occupied Denisova Cave, with stone tools and pendants marking their presence over thousands of years. Most remarkably of all, DNA analysis showed hybrid individuals present in the cave with parents from different human species. For example, the Denisovan girl's genome showed she had a Neanderthal mother around 200 generations back. Additionally, a 90,000-year-old bone had a Denisovan father and Neanderthal mother. Clearly, interbreeding was occurring between these groups. Denisova Cave provides concrete evidence that Neanderthals, Denisovans, and early humans all interacted and even produced hybrid offspring together during the Paleolithic era. This gives us a new understanding of these hominins as a complex, interconnected population web based on cooperation and shared territory, not just isolated species competing for resources. Discoveries at Denisova Cave have caused an upheaval in our knowledge of archaic human relatives, their connections to us, and migrations throughout Eurasia over tens of thousands of years. Number 9. Anunnaki Tablets. A series of mysterious cuneiform tablets from Mesopotamia have sparked debate about the role of the Anunnaki, an advanced race described in Sumerian texts. Dubbed the Anunnaki Tablets, their cryptic inscriptions have fascinated scholars since the 19th century. Debate rages over whether they describe real extraterrestrial entities that impacted early human civilization. The Anunnaki Tablets were found among the ruins at Tel al-Mukayyar, the site of the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk. They date to around 1800 BCE, when cuneiform writing was emerging in Mesopotamia. The tablets refer cryptically to the Anunnaki as a powerful group of entities who came to Earth from the heavens. In Sumerian myths, these beings play pivotal roles in creating humans and teaching them civilized skills. According to translations by Zechariah Sitchin and other scholars, Sumerian and Akkadian texts describe the Anunnaki as those who from heaven came down to earth, or those who decree the fates. They were believed to have extraordinary powers and lifespans surpassing 500,000 years. Some passages even suggest crossbreeding between Anunnaki masters and early hominids. Could references in Sumerian myth indicate primitive humans actually interacted with an advanced extraterrestrial species in antiquity? Sitchin theorized Anunnaki rockets and space travel are obliquely described in the Epic of Gilgamesh when explaining the gods' abilities. Others suggest alternative interpretations not involving aliens. Nevertheless, for ancient astronaut theorists, the Anunnaki tablets remain pivotal evidence of alien technology and genetic experimentation that profoundly shaped human civilization. Their true meaning is controversial but profound. Number 8. Gobekli Tepe. The megalithic site of Gobekli Tepe, located in southern Turkey, is astonishing archaeologists with its Neolithic temples dating back over 11,000 years before Stonehenge. Conventional wisdom had assumed hunter-gatherers were not capable of such monumental architecture, but Gobekli Tepe remarkably contradicts this. It demonstrates that impressive ceremonial structures existed even before the advent of farming and settled civilization. Gobekli Tepe's discovery in 1994 began when German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt spotted ancient flint tools on a hilltop. Excavations soon revealed circular rings of huge carved T-shaped pillars, some weighing over 40 tons and standing up to 5 meters tall. The quality and size of these decorated limestone pillars, engraved with images of exotic wildlife, are incredibly sophisticated for their extreme age. The site also contains smaller, elaborately carved stones displaying a diverse menagerie from the Stone Age bestiary, including lions, foxes, wild boars, herons, ducks, scorpions, ants, and snakes. A prominent recurring figure is the fearsome aurochs, an extinct type of wild cattle revered for its brute strength. The precise meaning of these animal motifs is still debated, but undoubtedly reflects Stone Age cosmology and spiritual beliefs. Gobekli Tepe's scale implies a cooperative effort by hunter-gatherers, potentially from across the region. Its intricately carved reliefs contradict the notion that nomadic groups lacked artistic talent. The specific purpose of the site is still mysterious, but it may have served as a ritual center or gathering point for social interactions. Discoveries like Gobekli Tepe demonstrate that prehistoric cultures were far more sophisticated than previously understood. Its abandonment around 8000 BCE continues to puzzle scholars, but its legacy remains as one of humanity's oldest and most elaborate monumental achievements. Number 7. Sunken city of Heracleon. The ancient Egyptian city of Heracleon was once a bustling metropolis that bordered the Mediterranean Sea. But after over 1,000 years of prosperity, this prominent trading hub vanished following a series of natural disasters. Lost beneath the waves by the 8th century, Heracleon passed into legend. It was not until 2000 that its submerged ruins were rediscovered, opening an exciting underwater window into Egypt's late period. Heracleon slipped into obscurity after the Nile Delta coastline shifted. A decade of research by French marine archaeologist Franck Goddio has uncovered vast ruins blanketing over 6.5 square kilometers under 50 meters of water. This makes Heracleon one of the largest submerged archaeological sites in the world. A mind-boggling array of artifacts has been recovered, including 64 ancient ships, 700 anchors, giant granite statues of gods and pharaohs, bronze coins, jewelry, and weights from commercial stalls. Massive stela bears witness to Heracleon's prominence, while inscriptions linking its temples to Khufu and Ramses II confirm its antiquity. A stunning hoard of gold coins hints at vast temple wealth. Maritime objects testify to the city's busy harbor reaching across the Mediterranean. Meanwhile, colossal statues of the Egyptian bull god Apis depict the city's rich religious life, which melded Greek and Egyptian mythology. The temple enclosures and grand architecture indicate that Heracleon was an important regional capital. Its connections with Naucratis and Alexandria linked it to the wider Hellenistic world. Heracleon's final demise was likely due to rising sea levels and soil liquefaction from earthquakes, which caused buildings to collapse and sink. Although Heracleon faded from memory, its rediscovery illuminates a vital trading society, stretching from classical Greece to pharaonic Egypt and finally to the Roman era.
Now the artifacts dredged up from the ruins go on show for the first time at the British Museum.
Number 6. Hanging Pillar of Laakshi Temple. The 16th century Virabhadra Temple in the village of Laakshi, India contains an architectural mystery. A granite pillar that hangs in midair with no visible means of support. This gravity-defying pillar is one of the temple's 70 pillars in the main Mandapa Hall. There is enough space beneath the hanging pillar for visitors to pass objects or even slide a hand underneath, proving there is no foundation directly below it. In 1924, a British engineer tried moving the pillar to uncover its secret, but this caused other pillars to slightly displace, so he quickly aborted the attempt. Later analysis by the Archaeological Survey of India showed the pillar was intentionally built this way to demonstrate the advanced skills of the temple's architects. The temple contains magnificent sculptures and the largest mural in India depicting the deity, Virabhadra. But the origins of this architectural marvel remain shrouded in intrigue. According to legend, the pillar was constructed by one of the temple's architect brothers, who was miraculously cured of blindness during its building. The intricate carvings, giant structures, and optical illusions seen throughout the temple suggest its builders possessed sophisticated knowledge that still evades full understanding. The hanging pillar exemplifies an engineering feat made possible through ingenuity more advanced than expected in the ancient world. Even today, the illusion of this majestic pillar effortlessly suspended in the air continues to astound and delight visitors to the mystical Virabhadra Temple. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. Take a look at this ancient sculpture. Does it remind you of anything? The figure's big head and large eyes look similar to what modern-day sci-fi films depict as extraterrestrials. We've seen a lot of sculptures and designs, and most of them portray humanoid shapes and animals, but this one is different. The fascination with aliens and UFOs is not just with us. Even early civilizations were inspired by them. According to the Anunnaki Tablets, ancient people were also in contact with beings from beyond Earth. What are your thoughts on this mysterious artifact? Do you believe in extraterrestrials? And are we really alone in the universe? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Number 5. Borobudur Temple. The magnificent 9th century Buddhist temple of Borobudur in central Java is the world's largest mandala, symbolically depicting the path to enlightenment. Built during the reign of the Sailendra dynasty, this awe-inspiring monument combines spiritual symbolism, intricate artwork, and natural harmony between ancient Javanese culture and its lush highland setting. Borobudur's stepped pyramidal structure stands 42 meters high, with sides extending over 118 meters in length. The monument is constructed from 2 million blocks of hand-carved andesite stone. Its 6 square platforms are topped by 3 circular terraces, with 4 stairways on each side totaling 1,460 narrative relief panels. A central dome is surrounded by 72 stupas, each containing a seated Buddha. The temple's design is laden with Buddhist symbolic meaning. The square platforms represent earthly desires and the physical realm, while the circular levels depict cosmic spheres of formlessness and spiritual liberation, culminating in nirvana. Pilgrims meditatively walk up through this physical manifestation of the Buddhist worldview carved intricately in stone. Ringing the 3rd level are 160 relief panels depicting the life of Buddha, providing spiritual instruction to pilgrims through elegant visual narrative. The reliefs and over 500 Buddha statues honor the path to enlightenment. Carved demons at the temple base symbolize threats to this journey. Borobudur remains among the world's most significant Buddhist monuments as an exceptionally sacred mandala. Number 4. Lost City of Petra. The ancient city of Petra, carved dramatically into the sandstone canyons of Jordan, is one of history's most captivating and beautiful archaeological sites. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985, Petra was inhabited as early as 7000 BCE, but reached its peak between 400 BCE and 106 CE as a trading hub for the Nabatean kingdom. This mysterious lost city was unknown to the West until 1812, when it was rediscovered by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, bringing its marvels to light. Burckhardt had heard rumors of an ancient city hidden somewhere in the deserts of Wadi Musa. After gaining the trust of local Bedouin guides, he disguised himself as an Arab scholar and convinced them to take him to the rumored site. There, carved into the towering cliffs of the eastern Wadi Musa Canyon, he stepped through the narrow Sikh passageway and caught his first glimpse of magnificent Petra. Burckhardt had uncovered a forgotten city containing tombs, temples, an amphitheater, and intricate rock-cut architecture on a scale unmatched by any other ancient civilization. At the center of Petra is the famous Alkazne, or the Treasury, which appears as a Greek-style temple carved out of a massive sandstone cliff face. Other highlights include the 8,000-seat Roman-style amphitheater, the colonnaded street, and the enormous monastery structure carved into the mountains high above the site. Petra's most significant tombs exhibit a fusion of Greco-Roman, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian architectural influences, suggesting strong trade links between these cultures. While many questions remain unanswered, including the exact reason for Petra's abandonment in the 7th century, the majestic city continues to inspire awe and wonder at the ambition and artistry of the ancient Nabatean civilization. Number 3. Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1947, one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century occurred when a young Bedouin shepherd tossed a rock into a cave and heard the sound of breaking pottery. This chance event led to the unearthing of the legendary Dead Sea Scrolls. Found stored in clay jars within caves near the Dead Sea, these ancient texts provide invaluable insight into the time when both Judaism and Christianity were taking shape. The story begins when a shepherd chased a stray goat into a cave and came across ancient manuscripts wrapped in linen and blackened with age. Recognizing the potential importance of his find, he brought the scrolls to an antiquities dealer in Bethlehem, who contacted experts at the Syrian Orthodox monastery of St. Mark in Jerusalem. Archaeologists then mounted expeditions into the Judean desert to find the original cave, now known as Qumran Cave 1, and other nearby caves containing additional scroll fragments. In all, 900 different manuscripts were uncovered in 11 caves between 1947 and 1956. The texts are written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, mainly on parchment but some on papyrus and bronze. They are estimated to have been produced between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE. The scrolls contain parts of every book of the Old Testament except Esther, as well as previously unknown apocryphal works. Highlights include the Great Isaiah Scroll, a nearly intact book of Isaiah, the Manual of Discipline, documenting rules and rituals of a Jewish sect, and the Copper Scroll, describing locations of hidden treasure. Scholars believe the Essenes, a Jewish group seeking spiritual purity in the desert, created the community at Qumran and wrote many of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The dry climate surrounding the Dead Sea allowed extraordinary preservation of these fragile texts for millennia. Number 2. Angkor Wat. Rising from the jungles of northwest Cambodia, Angkor Wat is the largest religious monument in the world, combining breathtaking architectural grandeur with spiritual symbolism on a massive scale. Built in the early 12th century as a Hindu temple by King Suryavarman II, and later transformed into a Buddhist site, Angkor Wat exemplifies the powerful Khmer Empire and its immense influence over Southeast Asia for 6 centuries. The temple grounds, including ancillary structures and vast moats, cover an astonishing 160 hectares. The central complex has 3 rectangular galleries, each raised above the next, to represent increasing levels of spiritual attainment. This symbolic design is mirrored in the 5 conical towers of the upper terrace, representing the sacred Mount Meru, the home of the gods. Stretching for over half a kilometer per side, Angkor Wat's exterior walls contain an estimated 20,000 square meters of bas-relief depicting Hindu tales and legends. The temple's west entrance and sandstone causeway feature striking Naga serpent balustrades. In constructing this grand vision, Khmer architects employed ingenious techniques to stabilize immense stone blocks without mortar, withstanding the test of time. Angkor Wat combines the central quadrangle layout traditional to Khmer temples with a concise geometric perfection of columns, towers, and intricate decorative flourishes inspired by Indian temple design. The Hindu symbolism in Angkor Wat's architecture would later be adapted to Buddhist artistic expression. Though invaded by jungle vegetation for centuries, Angkor Wat has re-emerged into view through careful archaeological study and conservation efforts. Ongoing restoration work continues to preserve its timeless splendor. Angkor Wat represents the harmonious blending of human creativity and natural jungle surroundings, as seen yearly in modern times when its moats fill up during the rainy season. This foremost jewel of Khmer artistic achievement remains the largest religious complex in the world, inviting pilgrims and visitors alike to contemplate the sacred through its breathtaking beauty and grandeur. Number 1. Terracotta Army. The famous terracotta army found near the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, represents one of archaeology's most astonishing discoveries. The thousands of lifelike clay warriors, preserved since 210 BCE, offer an unprecedented glimpse into the military might of ancient China. The site is a monumental symbol of the sheer power wielded by emperors in imperial China. The army was created on Qin Shi Huang's orders to stand guard over his tomb in the afterlife. Each soldier was an original work, molded with painstaking realism and detail. Found near the modern city of Xi'an, the terracotta warriors number over 8,000, yet comprise only a small fraction of the sprawling mausoleum's total size. The army contains distinct regimental groupings of archers, infantry, charioteers, cavalry, officers, and acrobats. Clay horses, wooden chariots, weapons, and armor found on site are carved and painted in intricate detail. Each warrior's face is a portrait with unique facial features and expressions. The terracotta warriors offer a snapshot of the multi-ethnic composition of Qin Shi Huang's United China dynasties. The study of the sculptures yields insights into armor crafting, military command structure, and funerary rituals of the Qin dynasty at its cultural zenith. The grand scale and workmanship reflect the unprecedented power of the emperor to mobilize artisans to complete such an ambitious mausoleum project through centralized authority. The terracotta army remains one of history's foremost artistic and archaeological treasures, an everlasting emblem of China's early imperial might. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.